Today, the $31 trillion problem. Hello again, it's Martin North from Digital Finance Analytics. Welcome to this post covering finance and problem news with a distinctively Australian flavour. America's national debt has climbed north of $31 trillion for the first time, a milestone that comes at a time of historically high inflation, rising interest rates, and growing economic uncertainty. The nation's total public debt outstanding closed at $31.1 trillion on Monday, according to Treasury Department data which was published yesterday. The US government went on a borrowing spree during the COVID-19 pandemic to help shore up the nation's economy as the virus upended lives, labour markets and supply chains. Outstanding debt has climbed nearly $8 trillion since the beginning of 2020, and it has jumped by $1 trillion in just 8 months. The borrowing that occurred under the Trump administration and early on in the Biden administration came at a time when interest rates were low, but now, during a period of historically high inflation and a series of steep interest rate hikes by the Federal Reserve in its battle to tame rising prices, borrowing costs are far higher. The Committee for the Responsible Fiscal Budget last month estimated that President Joe Biden's policies could add around $4.8 trillion to deficits between 2021 and 2031. Excessive borrowing will lead to continued inflationary pressures, drive the national debt to a new record as soon as 2030, and triple federal interest payments over the next decade, or even sooner if interest rates go up further or more than expected, the CRFB wrote. America's borrowing levels have soared during the past decade. The outstanding public debt was $10.6 trillion when former President Barack Obama took office on January the 20th, 2009. It was $19.9 trillion when former President Donald Trump took over the office on January the 20th, 2017. And it was $27.8 trillion when Biden took office on January the 20th, 2021, according to the Treasury Department data. Surpassing another debt milestone certainly could indicate a very large problem in the future. However, in the near term, high levels of inflation are of the highest concern, said Alex Pele, US economist at Mizuho Securities. Any type of debt issue is really a potential issue. I wouldn't even say a certain issue, but a potential issue for 5 to 10 years down the road, he said. One of the benefits of being the world's reserve currency is everyone wants to buy your debt for cheap. But my perspective is a bit more sanguine than that, because this massive amount of debt not only distorts the US economy, but also the global economy for the very reason that it's a reserve currency. And so the question ahead, as I discussed yesterday with the debt ceiling, is will they perpetuate this and just make the debt even bigger, or will they start trying to shrink the debt? It becomes a pretty existential question, actually, and one which so far no one really wants to talk about. I'm Martin North from Digital Finance Analytics. Many thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.